Sorry, y'all. I told y'all I was coming. I'm keeping my word. I know it's super late. But your man said I was coming. I told y'all to hold me to my word about these reviews I got. This is going to be a somewhat long video because I'm going to be talking about Monday Night Raw. I'm going to talk about WrestlePalooza. And I'm going to talk about All Out. Now, before we do that, now, anytime y'all hear me talk about my man Ace, I'll be talking about my guy. This is his new YouTube page. I think he had this page for a while. He normally doesn't go on here, but he said he's gonna start coming on here giving his thoughts on pro wrestling. Now, if you want somebody that's like straight in the middle, now I always say it, my man is a hardcore WWE head. That's through and through. I'm telling you, but at least he's always going to be right in the middle. He's gonna give you like straight with no chaser. Like he said in his video, if you go and watch this video, you're gonna hear me and him. We disagree on a whole lot of things, but this is my guy. I've been knowing this dude, man. Let's see, but 20 years now. It's been a minute. Like I said, we met in high school. That's when we first met. Like I said, real born again believer. Love wrestling, love video games, and once upon a time, homeboy could spit. I'm telling you right now, my man was one of the best rappers out there. He could spit. I'm telling you right now. Hey, listen, I'm telling y'all, man. Check him out. Like I said, he has a video game. If you into that video game stuff, he got a video game page. I don't know if he has it in his description, but this is his page right here. You see his name, Ariel Vega. This is my guy. Anytime you hear me say my man Ace, this is exactly who I'm talking about. You probably see him in the comment section because he always be in the comment section. But I just want to come on here and give him a shout out before I go into this video. This is channel right here, Ariel Vega. He got 3 subscribers. I'm putting him on. Listen. Check him out. I'm trying to tell y'all want somebody that's going to be right in the middle, that's going to tell you straight with no chaser. Listen to this cat right here. This brother going to tell you exactly how it is. So shout out to your homie. We're going to dig into what we need to dig into. So we will start with WrestlePalooza. Then we'll talk about All Out. Then we'll talk about the aftermath of WrestlePalooza on Monday Night Raw. So WrestlePalooza. Now, the grade I walked away because me, you know me. I try my best to be as generous as I possibly can. I don't be like these people who sit up and chill out regardless of what company it is. You might plant the flag for the E, or you might plant the flag for AEW or TNA or who knows what. I don't do all that. I just come on here to be as authentic as I can. Unfortunately, like I said, this was a waste of money. However, there were 2 positives that came out of this whole show, and they were right here. Stephanie Van becoming the new women's world heavyweight champion, and this match right here. Like I said, this is what the whole pay-per-view was all about. This match right here. And shout out to Natalia's husband, because he's the one that produced this match. Fantastic. I loved everything about this. Listen, Punk, Seth, and Becky did everything in their power to make AJ Lee look good. They did what they were supposed to. And notice, best match on the show got the most minutes, which was right. It was right. Now, let's go ahead and talk about everything else. Like I said in my previous video, this was a waste of time. Didn't nobody want to see this. We seen this back in 2012. We didn't need to see it again. And word on the street, the original result was supposed to be Fruity was supposed to go over Brock. That's what the original was. But Triple H said, no, we ain't doing that, Brock. Just smash John for what is that, 8 minutes and 50 seconds and get the heck up out of there. That was that. Then we get to this matchup right here. Now, I didn't know that this match turned into a no DQ match. I thought this was already part of the plan from the jump. And unfortunately, having LA Knight as a special guest referee really didn't do well. And like I say, Jay gave himself a concussion by busting himself open when he went to hit Bronson. I think it was Braun Breaker that he hit in the back with the chair. And the edge of the chair popped him right in the head. That's why he was bleeding all over the place. So that wasn't supposed to happen. That was not supposed to happen, ladies and gentlemen. But we got some blood on freaking WrestlePalooza. Like I said, we got all the blood in the world over on AEW land. So Triple H is like, well, it's not supposed to happen. Let's go ahead and give a little quote unquote blood, whatever. But this was like a regular Monday Night Raw match. I've seen better. And listen, don't get me wrong. I like all 4 dudes in this match. Every dude in this match is a great wrestler. It's not the fact that they're not good wrestlers. It's just the fact that this is a TV match. This is what you can see on Monday Night Raw every week. This wasn't pay-per-view worth. I don't give a dang what they trying to tell. Now, did the right team go over? Yes. Because You want to establish this Vision Squad as a dominant threat. If Seth and them had to take the L, the other half of the squad had to go over. They just had to. Now, this inner beef between LA Knight and Jay, I really don't understand it. I don't know what Triple H is trying to do. I don't know why we keep on trying to break these two up. It does. These two need to be together. We've been there. We tried the single run with the both of them. It's the Usos or nothing. LA Knight should have been the guy a long time ago. That ship has failed that ship has sailed a long time, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Anytime when the fans are telling you this is the guy, each of them say, "No, if I didn't build them up, I'm not pushing them," and that's the unfortunate part. So now I got this weird feeling that they're gonna try to push LA Knight as a heel. I'm like, no. We had what was his name? Drake, something Drake when he was in Eli Drake. I think that was his name. He was a heel when he was in TNA. Now I'm not saying, and you know what? True. Yes, I'm not saying LA Knight can't play the heel because he did such a great job with the feud in NXT with my man. I can't think of the young man's name. Y'all know him. To the Moon. That was one of the best feuds I've ever seen. I loved everything about it. It made To the Moon because at first he was just all he was just a catch. It's funny. That's what they say about LA Knight, just a catchphrase. But the two of them, just based off of the beef that they had and the story that they was telling, it was great. I loved everything about it. And I was like, man, can we get that from what was on NXT and bring that to the main roster? Unfortunately, To the Moon not even wrestling right now. I don't know if he's working at the independent scene or somewhere. And look at LA Knight. And then I'm gonna talk about what happened to him on Monday Night Raw, but it is what it is. Now I've said this. Now, was this a good match? Yes, but I'm being 100% with y'all. As I was watching this, I literally was dozing off because a lot of times we get so carried away when we had two great wrestlers, and the moment when they get in there, we think they finna just create magic. And from what I was watching and what I was able to pick up, it was just one of them matches. It was like, and I already told y'all how I felt about the whole thing because I can't root against neither one. I can't root against Miss I Worship the Devil over here and Miss Io Sky. I can't because I like both of them. And both of them are baby faces. I can't do it. I could see if one was leaning towards the heel and the other one was, but I couldn't, So that already killed everything for me going into it. Now, like I said, I was expecting them to go all the way in. And like I said, I'm not saying it was a bad match. It was not a bad match. It's just for me, I was literally dozing off. Like I'm being 100% with y'all. I'm not even faking the funk. I was literally dozing off for real. And I made sure I stayed up for like the last 5 minutes of the match and everything. And Stephanie got it done. Because a lot of people was thinking possibly maybe Oscar and them was probably gonna come out there and screw. No, nobody showed up. Nobody. They just let them go. They did what they were supposed to do, and Stephanie got the job done. And then afterwards, I think her father came into the ring, and no, she went out the ring and hugged him, and everything. And listen, I said it. I want to give a dang about her title run. I want to care about what Triple H is doing with this young lady. And like I said, when I'm about to talk about what she said on Monday Night Raw, you're going to hear me give my honest thoughts on that promo that she cut. But like I said, decent match, but like I said, I was dozing off. Then I woke up right on time for this classic. This was a very good match. This primarily was the only reason fools forked over $30+ or whatever. I know some people didn't pay for it because they got other maids to watch the PLE, but we watched it, and I thought all four members did a great job. I said, AJ Lee, surely but slowly getting back into the thing because she ain't wrestling in a minute. But Punk, Seth, Becky, everybody did what they were supposed to do. And Becky and Seth took the L. AJ Lee made Becky tap. I thought, and CM Punk was in the ring crying. Listen, great. This was fantastic. This was basically the only reason why Fools said, let's fork over $30 right here. I'm telling you right here. This was the standout match. Now, right here, word on the street, Drew McIntyre was supposed to go off. Because, remember, Triple H said, we're going to have a big surprise. The big surprise was, quote-unquote, Stephanie going in the Hall of Fame by Undertaker. And I'm sitting up here saying to myself, wait a minute. Last I checked, Didn't this man have Stephanie on that doggone Undertaker cross or whatever that symbol that he had? Didn't he have her crucified and all this mess? And she was scared out of her mind of this man. Fast forward, he's telling her, you're going in the Hall of Fame, and she's sitting up there getting giddy, and they're hugging and embracing. I said, what the clown? Can we keep kayfabe alive? No, we cannot do that. That's what the big surprise was. And I say Triple H, I don't know what, I don't know. We got surprise and we got this and we got that. That's what the surprise was, ladies and gentlemen. That's what the surprise was. The spot right here, like I said, I don't know if Drew is hurt or not, but they was right there by the LDB table. I think it's the LD. I don't know how to. You know what I'm talking about, y'all. The announce table, right there where you can see the advertisers going across the doggone announce table. So Drew McIntyre went to try to do something to Cody, and he ended up kicking his whole body into the doggone announce table underneath it. I say, and then he couldn't even put no weight on his knee. I said, I don't know if he re-hurt himself or I don't know. Cody did the crossroads, 1, 2, 3, match over. I say, this is WrestlePalooza. I say, listen, man, I keep saying it, Triple H, please, man, please. I know y'all want to destroy AEW, but please, man, stop going head to head when Tony Khan decides to have a show. You can have your show a week or two later. And guess what? We who watch both products are going to be just fine. We are just... We can focus on one. I don't have to sit up here and be like, okay, I can't wait to get AEW done. So then I can focus on, because watching the last match with Hangman and Kyle Fletcher, this is when the doggone WrestlePalooza was on. So I kept looking. So we was watching WrestlePalooza on the phone for the time being, as long as AEW was on. We had AEW on the big TV. And then we was looking down on the phone to see what was going on in WrestlePalooza. And I don't like to do stuff like that. I don't. I would prefer to focus on one at a time. But H&M, because this is what they do, and Tony Khan said, let's make the shows go into them because they kicked us out of our spot. But again, like I keep saying, stop doing that, because once again, Tony Khan and company showcase why they do pay-per-views. Let's go ahead and talk about All Out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you the bold-faced truth. Now, yes, 14 matches, but guess what? Tony Khan and them was smart. They did not have the pre-show on the pay-per-view. The pre-show was exclusively for YouTube and Collision, if I'm not mistaken. I say, Tony, that's smart, because a lot of people don't give a dang about the pre-show, and I'm one of them. I don't give a rat's behind about the pre-show. The pre-show ain't important to me. I care about the main attractions. What are the main matches? What Tony Khan and company did on the pay-per-view for the pre-show, all we heard was, y'all forgive me, the young man that has been helping Tony Khan write some of the stories, he's always on the pre-show with Renee, and they had Bryan Danielson, who is officially a part of the commentary team. They pretty much talked about every matchup and what we was expecting to go on the main card. I said, Tony Khan, you're finally getting it. You're finally getting it, because a lot of people don't care about the flips and dives. We want to know, why am I forking over $50 to watch the show? Their job, Renee, Brian, and I can't think of the young man's name. Forgive me. I should know. I see this food every chance, every day. I forgot his name. Their job is to get people to why we should get, especially if some people may not, let's say, especially now, there's a lot of people I've seen on TikTok and other social media. A lot of people is down on WWE right now. They actually said, Tony Khan, I'm not really big on AEW. WWE bull-jiving right now. Give me a reason as to why I should start paying attention to your product. Their job was to get, okay, why should we care about this match? Why should we care about this? Why should we care about this? Why should we care about... That's what their job was for, if people don't really pay attention to the TV show. Because I'm telling y'all right now, I missed like the last week or two. Now, I watched the Go Home show, I did. But the previous week, I missed it. I wasn't watching. And you want to know why I wasn't watching? Ladies and gentlemen, I be out business. I be out doing my business. I be out here doing ride share. I don't be at home. When the show is alive, I'm not home. I'm trying to tell y'all, if I was home, I would be doing videos right after like I used to. I'm not home. That's why a lot of times I'm recording on my way to work, because I'm not home to talk directly after the show. And plus, that's when everybody's on. I like to come After everybody done said what they had to say, it's my turn to give you my honest to God take on what I'm watching. But I love that format. I said, thank God, because it's way too long. Like I said, anything that's on the pay-per-view should be pay-per-view worthy. You shouldn't be having a bunch of random matches that don't make no type of sense, that don't have no story, and we just gonna do flips and no, I'm trying to tell y'all, you hearing a real true hardcore AEW head tell you the bold-faced truth what Tony Khan and company need to do moving forward. Get your freaking TV right. I say this all the time. I don't sit up here and bull jive and sit up and say everything Tony Khan. Now listen, does Tony Khan get a lot of hate for? Yes, he does. But sometimes a lot of the stuff that's coming his way is warranted because he be bull jiving too much. Like I said, we ain't talking about it. I just got through from going in on Triple H. Now I'm going in on Tony Khan and company. 14 matches for All Out, I would cut this short. Like I said, pre-show, one match on the pre-show. Listen, that means you gotta fight hard. Cause see now, guess what? Like I said, WWE kind of slipping right now. Now I'm not saying they ain't going nowhere. They're kind of slipping right now. What Tony Khan and company need to do moving forward, you need to give me a reason as to why you deserve to be on the pre-show. Then you need to give me a reason as to why you deserve to be on the pay-per-view. Next pay-per-view coming up is Wrestle Dream, if I'm not mistaken. Give me a reason. Make a storyline that makes sense. Give me a reason as to why I should put you on. I'm not putting you on here because, hey, this is the best place with the best wrestle and all this. No. Get out of here with that foolishness. From here on out, I'm telling you, if I have a show with about 10 matches, two of them matches on the pre-show, 8 on the main card, or if I got my 8 best storylines and I feel 2 of them deserve to be on the pre-show, I'll think about that. Think about that. You got 8 solid storylines and everybody is fighting to get on the main card, which means you got 2 that's on the pre-show and 6 on the main card. Now, guess what? That means everybody has to work twice as hard. I ain't just talking about the flips and dives. I'm talking about why I should give a dang about why you on my TV. What's your story? What's your character? Why should I care? Why should I be forking over all this money? Give me a freaking reason. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't watch a single of this because this is all on YouTube. And I thank God Tony Khan did not put this on the doggone pay-per-view. I was happy because I was thinking we was going to be looking at this. I ain't give a dang about it. Don't get me wrong. I like every name that you see. I like the majority of the cats said. Like y'all know I look Hardy Cameron didn't. You talk about somebody that didn't worked on me because I was not a fan of Hardy Cameron right away. This young lady has worked. I'm a serious fan. Y'all know how I feel about Willow Nightingale. Shout out to that boy Ariel. They can't stand this woman. I love this woman right here. Queen Amanada. She's somebody that's I'm big on. I want to get behind Megan Bain, but man, Tony Khan got to make me give a dang about it. Same thing with Penelope before. Julie and Sky Blue, listen, look, y'all already know how I feel about them. Like I said, I told y'all. And then when it comes to the fellas, you know I'm cool with Roderick Strong. You know I'm cool with notice that look at cats who we ain't seen. I haven't seen Griff. I haven't seen Garrison. I haven't seen Preston. I haven't seen these fools in forever, but somehow, some way, they found a way on the pre-show. Make that make sense. I know he pushed the mess out of Hologram. I need to know more about Hologram. Yes, the boy can wrestle his tail off, but I need to know more about this young man. I really do. We know about Kyle O'Reilly. We know about Roger Strong. We all know, but why the heck should I give a dang about this? How the heck is this even pay-per-view worthy? See, this is where I separate myself from the so-called sickos. Because see, the sickos, they love stuff like this. They like, hey, I need you on the show. Hey, you want to get on the show? I know I ain't seen you like, 5 years. Come on. No, that ain't me. So I appreciate Tony Khan not putting this on the doggone pay-per-view, keeping this exclusively on YouTube. But that's exactly where it belongs. So if you see him, I ain't talking about it because I didn't see it. So I didn't see none of this. I'm thankful I did. But I did see everything from 5 down to 14. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So we opened up the show. Now Dax had a broken nose, so I figured, yes, they obviously had to open up with this. I personally feel this should have been for the doggone tag team titles. But the problem is, Tony Khan, I know why TK didn't do it, because he didn't want Dax and them to hold the titles for 1 week and then basically just hand them over to Adam and Christian. So he felt that their storyline was bigger than the tag team titles. I beg to differ. I'm kind of in the middle on it, because I felt like the tag team titles would have made it, but again, it would have been a disservice to Cash and Dax because they just wanted them just to hand them over there, because basically we playing hot potato with the tag team titles. So I get it. Everything they did in this I loved everything about this match. Everything they did was great. And then the surprise, ladies and gentlemen, not a peep. I didn't hear nobody on no dirt sheets, no nothing. I didn't hear nobody in the IWC even mention Beth Phoenix. Nobody. So what happened was, they obviously, Cash Wild and Dax is cheating their behinds off. They cheating. Just cheating. It's just cheating going on. So Stokely acting like he finna do something. So then we get some generic sounding music. I'm like, who is this? And when she walked out, I said, Beth Phoenix. I said, oh, snap. Beth Phoenix is all elite. I said, well, it's official now. She's here. I said, okay. Just like with AJ Lee, now Beth Phoenix then pulled back up. I said, okay, all right. So when it comes down for Beth Phoenix to get back in there, I'm going to see that she still got it. Hey, if I had the support from Miss AJ Lee, what you think? I'm going to have the same support from Miss Beth Phoenix. So kudos to her. I didn't hear a peep, ladies and gentlemen. Not a word. That's what I like about pro wrestling. Pro wrestling has always been about the surprises. Don't nobody know nothing when somebody is pulling up. We don't hear a peep, and then they tails pull up. That's when we go crazy. That's called pro wrestling at its best. When we don't know nothing, when the dirt sheet ain't saying nothing, when this is kept under wraps, don't nobody say anything. That's when pro wrestling is at its best. I miss the days when I didn't know anything until stuff popped up on the pay-per-view on the television show. Now the fact that we are social media 24/7, we got Twitter, we got TikTok, we got notifications on, we got YouTube, we got notifications for dang that everything concerning pro wrestling. We know everything. We know this person out, this person, whatever. We know we going here, we know everything ahead of time. This right here was done perfectly. I loved everything about it. Adam Copeland, Christian Cage got the dub. Great. We move on. Worst match on the whole show right here, ladies and gentlemen. Respect to Eddie Kingston coming back, but I think this was, you talk about something that was just rushed. This basically could have just been saved for TV. Eddie Kingston easily could have just pulled back on TV and called it a day. I get it. This is Tony Khan's last effort to quote-unquote trying to get people to tune into freaking All Out because of what Triple H and them was doing on WrestlePalooza. But, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Kingston, it's a lot of work that needs to be done. He been gone for dang near almost 2 years. Almost 2 years, like a year and a half. He been gone. And, Big Bill tried. He tried his best, but, I was like, all I cared was the fact that he came back. That was like, if I take any positives away, the fact that he came back. Fans went crazy seeing him out there. That was it. And then so afterwards, Hook came out there. So I don't know if Hook is aligning himself with him. I don't know what Tony Khan is doing, but that's basically the aftermath for that. So it's Eddie Kingston and Hook now. I guess Hook is going under his wing. So then we get to this crazy man match right here. Tables tax match, ladies and gentlemen. I take my hat off to Briscoe, and I definitely take my hat off to our future in AEW World Champion 2. It's coming, ladies and gentlemen. It is around the corner. Get ready for it. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. MJF is winning that championship. I don't know when he's winning it, but it is official. Mark your calendars. It's happening. Now, how does it happen? I wish Tony Khan would make it where it's like where nobody sees it. Like you expect it, but you don't see when it happens. Hangman needs to be in a vulnerable, I'm telling about super, super vulnerable moment where nobody is thinking about MJF coming in to cash in. That is what so many of us are waiting on. And I thought we was going to get that on All Out. Because I thought if Tony Khan would have pulled that off, I would have gave this show a freaking 9 out of 10. I honestly would have I gave WrestlePalooza, WrestlePalooza was a 6 out of 10. That's the honest I'm going. The highest I'm going is a 6. I'm being generous. Some people gave it ESPN own show gave it a C. and that ain't good, you know. So I'm giving it this. I gave it a 6 out of 10. Um, Mark Briscoe, MJF going through. I mean, just listen. They annihilate one another. This was great. This was great. MJF did the right thing by putting Mark Briscoe over in an awesome way. I mean, listen. You had everything from the goofiness to the violence to. I mean, just I couldn't have done it better. This was great. So I'm sitting up here like MJF loses. So I'm like, how is he gonna come back out of nowhere and do what I think he could possibly do? Cash in on freaking Hangman. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that's what we was gonna get at the end of the show. We didn't get it. Then we got this matchup, the trios matchup. Now a lot of people is got mixed feelings on this. I thought this was great. This was the brothers versus brothers match. Yes, all of us was on the show. And guess what? MVP was in this match for a specific reason, so that Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona can go over. And listen, guess what? Guess who you protect? You protect both Bobby and Charlotte. This was great. That's what this is all about. I told y'all, these are your next 3 trios champions. I'm ready for it. Ricochet has been doing some of his best work, and the fact that he's aligned himself with Bishop Khan and Toa Leona, listen, man, I can't be more pleased. I thought, like I said, I know this was thrown together. You know, a lot of people, like I said, they got they feelings and they reactions on what they feel about it. But I thought they did a solid job. I thought they did good. Then we got here. Yes, random matches. Say we have not seen Rio in forever. She comes out of nowhere and just magically gets a title shot. Hey, that's how things work in AEW. You don't make an interesting storyline and no. You can be off like what so long and hey, come on back and get your title shot. But I gotta say it, Mercedes and Rio killed it. I don't give a dang. You can feel however you feel about Mercedes, and there's a lot of opinions on how they feel about this woman. Listen, Mercedes is Mercedes. That's who she is, ladies and gentlemen. But man, Rio had this woman working. Rio had her working, ladies and gentlemen. She had her working. I'm trying to tell you, she had her working. I said, man, listen, Mercedes is great when whoever she's in the ring with makes it work. That's when you know Mercedes is putting on the classic. I listen, in the short time they had, I thought they did a great job. You know, obviously Rio wasn't winning. Mercedes got the dub. Obviously Mercedes trying to get 50 trillion championships. That's her story arc until it's time for it. Listen, Mercedes' story is the moment she starts dropping championships to all these different companies, and then whoever it is that she officially puts over as the next TBS champion. And I'm still going with Harley Cameron to be the one. But I take my hat off to Rio. I take my hat off to Mercedes. Next, match of the freaking pay-per-view. Ladies and gentlemen, the time for Okada and Takeshita, we're going to get it. But the fact that they threw Mascadora Duranda, young man, listen, you talk about chemistry, the 3 of them killed it, man. They all 3, look at it. They had me standing up. I was sitting down eating pizza watching this. They killed it. All 3 of them, man. And I love the fact that you had Don Callis' old crazy Cartoon Network behind on commentary, sounding like a dang fool, talking about, yeah, well, you know what? Hey, it's always competition in the house, you know? Hey, you know, they can work things out, and there ain't no working things out. This dude right here, he made sure he was going to showcase who he was. And sure enough, he let cats know, hey, you might not know who Mascara Dorada is, but you gonna know who he is at this pay-per-view. Yes, we did. We got an opportunity. I got the opportunity to see this young man from CML, and he cooked. He cooked with Okada and Takeshita. Takeshita got knocked out, which was purpose. And then Mascador tried to do something, but it was to no avail. Okada got the dub, retained the triple crown in the international championship. Match of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Match of the freaking night for me. I don't know how about y'all, but for me, this was the match of the night. They killed it. And listen, and everybody just cooked. Everybody got away on how they feel about Moxley. Everybody. But I gotta say this. This was one of the most insane look, they try to push the envelope. I noticed this. Anytime Moxley and Darby get together and they having these insane coffin matches or whatever you want to call it, they really try to push the envelope. I mean, digging into each other's ear and I mean, just some of this, just sick, twisted, using a screw. Just crazy. Moxley gets the dub, but the way how he got the dub. Ladies and gentlemen, I had Moxley winning. But Lord knows I was not thinking about a returning Pac. First of all, Pac came out here looking completely different. The man done cut his hair and everything. Came out of nowhere. Just when you thought Darby had the dub done. With all the cheating going on with Marina and DG and Claudio and Yuta, all these other clowns and all this crazy crap. Just when you thought Darby was going to overcome, Jon Moxley had an ace up his sleeve. Pac has returned and helped put Darby in that doggone. First of all, they put him in the body bag because Darby loved carrying cats and he loved that doggone body bag. That's all that man know. I told y'all, Darby Allin is a mixture of Jack A and Jack Skeleton from Nightmare Before Christmas. Listen, you can debate your mama. That's exactly who that man's gimmick is. He's Jack A meets Nightmare Before Christmas. And for people who are living under a rock and don't know what Jack A is, it was an old dumb man show with these 8 clowns that just did some of the most dumbest stuff trying to hurt themselves. It was on MTV back in the day. Dumbness. Darby Allin, that's what he does. Is he doesn't give a dang about his body. He can get thrown off stairs. He can get trampled off. He doesn't care. Darby Allin legit does not give a dang about his body. And he wants to take as much abuse as he possibly can. Pac helps Moxley retain, throws him in the doggone coffin. Moxley wins. Then we get to this Fatal 4-Way. Now, the intro to this Fatal 4-Way had me on the floor. Toni Storm is one crazy woman. Talking about, I hired these 3 women, and the name of the movie, the name of the flick was called 4 Ways to Die. But here's the deal. She ended up dying. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We got ourselves a new AEW Women's Champion. Now, how was this match for me? I thought this was a good Fatal 4-Way. Yes, women was doing all kind of crazy stuff. You got Tekla the Spider Girl getting her little licks in. Jamie Hayter doing what she had to do. Tony and Chris going at it. But ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a new AEW Women's Champion. And I can't be more proud. The entire IWC, regardless if they watch AEW or not, have been wanting this young lady to get her push for a long time. Now, right before the match, Willa Yuta, now, there's been some ongoing story about Willa Yuta constantly going in her ear, whispering things and all of this crazy stuff. So I don't know where they're going with that. I was thinking maybe she goes heel or something like that. Chris Statlander out of nowhere got the dub, and she is your new AEW Women's Champion. I can't be more proud for it. I've been wanting this woman to win for a long time. I'm such a fan of this young lady. I'm proud of her. I just want Tony Khan to make sure that this title reign is good. Now, I've already seen what we doing on Wednesday. She going against my girl Mina already. I would have done. I would have just let Chris cut her promo first. Then she say, okay, because you know that everybody loves to be a fight champ. That's like the typical babyface run. I'm a fighting champion. I'm willing to give a shot to anybody or whatever. Then if you wanted to go that route and set it up, okay, fine. It's always about the follow-up. The one thing Tony Khan struggles with is the follow-up after we get off a great pay-per-view. He does this foolishness way too much. Now, I wish the other hardcores would hold this man accountable. Hold him accountable. I try my best to hold. I tweet it. I tell him, TK, stop bull jabbing. I tell him. You can go look at my stuff on Twitter. I tell this fool, stop bull jabbing. You know what you got to do. We want to give a dang about it. Just like I said with Stephanie Van Kier, Triple H got to give a crap about her title one. Well, guess what, Tony Khan? You are on the clock when it comes to Miss Chris Statlander. I'm happy for her. I'm glad she finally got a moment. But you got to give a dang about her title run. It's no excuse. There is no excuse, man. This fool. And then word on the street, he got an announcement. Sound like we getting tag team titles for the women. Look, man. Look. Do I think the women need tag team titles? I don't have a problem with it. But again, it's all about the build up. And what kind of stories can you tell to get us to give a dang about seeing women with tag team titles? Because you already got 2 titles. You got the TBS title, you got this title, and some cases the storylines be decent, in other cases you just be bull jabbing. So with more titles, we don't need more bull jabbing. We don't. Don't let a hardcore tell you that that's great. No, we don't need no more bull jabbing. Be 100%. Look, if you need help, get somebody in there that can help you tell stories. Now, back to back, we got back to back fatal 4 ways. This ladder match, insane to the membrane. Now, I'm sitting up and saying to myself, okay, maybe they're gonna let the Young Bucks get them titles back. They didn't. Young Bucks constantly kept running up them ladders. You had my man Kevin Knight try speedball. Mike Bailey got. I mean, listen, this was a crash course, crash test dummy ladder match. These fools are doing all kind of Brody King, Bandino, Matt Nick, Kevin Knight, Mike Bailey, Hereko, and Josh. These clowns are doing all kind of crazy. I mean, just clowning. I mean, all you seen it. You seen these cats just looking goofy as possible. And I seen the spot. They had the 2 tables out there. I said, somebody going through that table. Well, guess who it was, ladies and gentlemen? None other than Mr. FBA himself, Kevin Knight. They literally picked. So Kevin Knight was on the ladder like he was finna pull the titles down. All of them, literally, when I say all of them, I kid you not. All Brody King, Bandino, Young Bucks, Hex. Listen, forgive me, I don't know how to pronounce my dude's name. Hecasero and Josh Alexander literally picked up the ladder, pulled it over to the doggone edge of the ring, and pushed it down so Kevin Knight could go jumping through there. That's exactly what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Literally, that's exactly what happened. I said, I knew somebody was going through it. I knew it. And like I said, it was a spot where Mike Bailey did. He was done. It was over. So they kept making this, like I said, they kept making you think that Matt Jackson, Josh Alexander, like they kept making it seem like they was gonna get it. But Brody King and Bandino said, heck to the freaking no. We just got these tag team titles. We are not losing. Now, as for who they lose them to, I'm not sure. I don't know who they're gonna lose them to, but you know, hey, listen, they successfully defended their tag team titles. Now, like I said, was it over the top? Of course. But these are the type of matches where you are allowed to be over the top, and that's what, like I said, it was crash test dummy ladder match. Cats going flying through tables and flying through ladders and just looking goofy as possible. That's basically what this whole match was. Then we get to the main event. Ladies and gentlemen, I've said it before and I said it again. Kyle Fletcher, you talk about somebody another cat who at first I was like, I don't know about this young man. I don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, overtime, hanging out with Don Callis, I mean, winning the TNT title, the man he's just one step at a time. Young man is just rising. His star power is rising. You know, people say AEW can't make stars. Yes, it can. This young man is rising to the top. I'm like, keep going, young man. Keep going. When you get in the ring with Hangman, Hangman just be farting out great matches. Listen, man. Look, say what you want about Hangman Adam Page. Say what you want, but the boy just farts out great matches. It's always about the story you trying to tell with Hangman. But the moment when that man get in that square that ring, when he get into that doggone ring, whoever he in there with, man, he gonna make that person look like $1,000,000. And ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Fletcher, they kept the word, because the word was, if anybody from the Don Callis family cheated, this man would be stripped of his TNT title. Kyle Fletcher did everything he possibly could to be Hangman, but he came up short. And Hangman walked out with the championship. He retained his AEW World Championship. And now I'm sitting up and watching this. I'm sitting up and okay. I'm thinking maybe MJF might come out, but he didn't come out. So I said, okay, TK don't want to do it right now. He don't want to do it. So we're moving on to freaking Wrestle Dream. That is the next installment into the AEW storyline when it comes to AEW pay-per-views. But I walked away. Like I said, if there's anything I would have took away, this ain't going to be on the show. I'm not doing this matchup. And there's a possibility for me. Let's see. I'm trying to look. Is any other match that I probably would have pulled? I'm obviously, the pre-show. I ain't doing none of that. I ain't doing none of that. Yeah, I think. Truth be told, I think the only match I probably would have pulled was Eddie Kingston and Big Bill with Brian Keith in this corner. That's the only thing. Everything else I would have looked. Legit. I I was cool with everything I seen. The only thing I said I didn't give a dang about was right here, honestly. So after all that, I walked away with a solid 8 out of 10. Was it a 9? Could have been, but like I said, man, TK and them continues to give us solid pay-per-views. Was it a heck of a better pay-per-view than Forbidden Door? Absolutely. Absolutely. Y'all need to get a read. Listen, I was supposed to review Forbidden Door. Listen, I didn't review Forbidden Door. I didn't review the other WWE. I didn't review none of that. I didn't review any of it. But I'm here. I told y'all what's coming. We're going on 12 o'clock, so I wanted to get this over with. So I told you it's going to be long. So now let's go ahead and talk about freaking Monday Night Raw. Now, the aftermath of WrestlePalooza. Obviously, we got doggone Crown Jewel coming up. So it's basically champion versus champion. Cody Rhodes and Seth, one more time. I don't give a dang about it. Seth Rollins has lost 3 times. Him and Cody in the ring going, talk about you don't respect me and all this foolishness and all this crap. And he told him, he said, are you going to win fair and square or are your goons going to get you? That was basically the whole promo, to be honest with you. Monday Night Raw was carried by the women. The women carried Monday Night Raw. I'm serious. Like, the ladies carried Monday Night Raw. This, I don't even know what this is, right? I can't even call this no more. What is this? Grayson Waller, New Day, Penta, and what is Penta doing with Eric and R-Bar? I don't even, what is Grayson Waller doing with the New Day? Like, I've been watching this mess. I just scratch my head and go, what the clown is Triple H even doing? What is he doing with his tag team? I don't even know. First of all, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker should be the WWE Tag Team Champions right now. They legit should be the Tag Team Champions. I'm not even playing with y'all. They legit should be the Tag Team Champions. It don't even matter. What you just saw what just happened to JD McDonuts. Him and Finn Balor and them. They ain't doing nothing. They just losing all day. I'm like, what is Triple H doing? They Penta them on. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Then we get to hold up, let me so we got now Bayley's running. Let's talk about it. Bayley running around here with this split personality foolishness. This is what her gimmick is. That's where she can't make up her mind who she is. She don't know if she's the hugger or she don't know if she's Miss Ding Dong over here. So she went against Roxanne and Lyra helped her win, but then she snapped on her and everything. I'm like, listen, was the match good? Heck yeah. Roxanne and Bayley, man, look, this is now. Yes, this was babyface versus heel. Triple H finally got it right because the rest of the show. It was heels and faces and faces and it was heels and heels versus faces and faces. That's basically what it was, you know. This ongoing situation with Jey Uso and Jimmy and LA Knight and all this crap. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not interested in it at all, man. I'm not. Yeah, this match, like I said, JD McDonuts versus Russo. This is 2 heels going at it. Who the clown am I supposed to root for? Please. Rusev right now, I guess, is gunning for the international championship right now. Intercontinental championship. I guess he's gonna beat him. Is he facing him at Crown Jewel? If he facing him at Crown, it was the next week. It's 1 or 2, but I didn't understand this at all. I legit didn't. I'm like, JD McDonuts is one half of your WWE Tag Team Champions, and I don't get it. I honestly didn't understand it. I said it's just a waste of time. Then, like I said, main event, babyface or babyface, Jey Uso, LA Knight. LA Knight looking up at the lights. What else is new? I'm like, and they trying their best to get. Listen, they had Cody. They had Jay because I guess Cody and Jay was talking, and they had Jay eyeballing the WWE Championship. I'm like, man, look, we've been there, we tried that. I'm like, Jay and Jimmy should be a tag team. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So then they showed Seth and Becky backstage. Ladies and gentlemen, if I don't know somebody who was sleeping on the couch, this man was sleeping on the couch. So he totally ignored Becky. Becky sitting up here going off and rambling and talking all this foolishness and all this crap, talking about who Cody think he is and all this crap. And Seth just sit there. He's ignoring her. He ain't paying her no mind or nothing. And the question you had to ask yourself, what a clown was AJ Lee? Nowhere in sight, ladies and gentlemen. Nowhere. Then we got EO and Rhea talking, and Rhea's trying to talk sense into EO, say that your girl she wilding. She wilding. Listen, I didn't want to get in the middle of this, but she's taking advantage of it. Then meanwhile, you got Kairi Sane over here who's in the middle of it. It's almost like she's a minion that don't want to go along with this foolishness that Asuka's doing. Asuka over here then completely went to the dark side. She's dark Asuka. And if I'm not mistaken, when she was in New Japan, dark Asuka with the clown maker was straight evil. Like, she was evil as heck. Now H then watered her down like a crazy person. But the storyline is actually a decent storyline. It might be the best storyline they got going, to be honest with you. So later on, Rhea got a matchup with Asuka. And Kyrie had Io said, could you call the match off, you know? And she said, no disrespect, but your girl, like I said, your girl bucking. Your girl bucking. You know, I don't, you know, and so they went there and then they gave a recap of the so-called surprise. Ladies and gentlemen, we 7 months away. We're freaking 7 months away from Mania. Why the clown do we have to know this? You couldn't save this for, I don't know, the first inductee right before weeks leading up into WrestleMania. Why the clown do we need to know this? I said, H&M just silly and just straight goofy. Then you had Max Dupree talking to Adam Pearce about, ladies and gentlemen, I don't give a dang about this El Grande. I don't give a crap. Ladies and gentlemen, how the clown do we got 3 cats who are solid wrestlers involved in this foolishness? We got Ludwig Kaiser, we got Pete Dunne, and we got the Tyler Bates show. All run around here with these dumb man. 3 great wrestlers that's tied up in this foolishness that Triple H is calling a garbage storyline or calling a great storyline. No, this stuff is stupid. It's idiotic. So Maxine Dupree ran up on Adam Pearce about some foolishness. I guess she want to get a matchup. So then we got AJ Lee and Dragon Lee talking about, like I said, these clowns or whatever. I guess they're going to have a match next week. Then we get to the main event, Asuka versus Rhea, which I thought was a very good main event. I thought the girl, wasn't it a main? No, it was. Yeah, it was a main event. Yeah, it was a main event. The girls did a good job. And afterwards, Rhea wins. Then Asuka does the dog. Asuka went completely crazy. She did the green mist on Rhea. And then afterwards, she did the green mist on Io too. And word on the street, it was Kairi Sane's birthday too. Kairi Sane just turned 37. I said, "Oh, cool. That's dope." But it's unfortunate that the 3 Aegis sisters are no more. Now it's just 2 of them. And one of them don't even want to be there. So Io posted a video of her crying, and all you could do, you just feel for her, man. I feel so bad for Io right now. Like, your home girl didn't turn her back on you. She didn't turn her back on you. And then you got your other girl who don't want to do it, but she's under the mind control of Eva. I think her name was Kana. Evil Kana, when she was in New Japan. Io, crazy as a Betsy bug, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy as a Betsy bug. Listen, I thought the ending to Monday Night Raw was actually solid. H&M actually did a solid job. I thought they went off strong. Like I said, show was, it was decent. Was it boring at times? Yes. But I thought they went off strong. I'm giving Triple H props. I'm not finna sit up here and be bogus as heck like the rest of the hardcores do. I'm going to tell you the bold-faced truth. Like I said, I thought this was a very good, strong ending. We move on. Like I said, we're on our way to SmackDown. Like I said, Dynamite is tomorrow. I will do my best to try to give you a Dynamite review. This is the aftermath of freaking All Out. Tony Khan, you got one thing to do. Dynamite should be the beginning to freaking Wrestle Dream. Wrestle Dream storyline should begin as soon as Dynamite goes on the air. I don't need to see a match. I don't need to see none of that. I need to see the story that makes me want to say, I can't wait for Wrestle Dream. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd have been on almost an hour. I really ain't got nothing else to say. I told you, 8 out of 10 for freaking All Out, 6 out of 10 for WrestlePalooza, and I told you my thoughts on Monday Night Raw. Y'all already know what to do. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Tell me what y'all thought about everything. Hit the comment section up. And I'll talk to y'all cats later. This your main man, Casey King Self Life Wrestling the Takes. I'm out the door. Holla at you.